Okay, so first step you need to do is start with a postural assessment. So I would recommend going to see someone to get it done, like a skilled check practitioner or a chiropractor or osteopath, someone who can really knows what they're doing, understands the anatomical structure, and looking for anything that's not aligned correctly. One thing that we do use, if you do want to do it yourself, you can get some apps, really good apps that you can use with iPads and tablets. We use one that's called Posture Screen Pro, and here is an example of what that looks like. I've got Nathan, our model, who's going to help me today, is also one of our trainers, and you can see here where we can like line him up and look for anatomical landmarks that we can always find, like his eyeball and his nose and the side of his ear, shoulder, etc., etc. And we can sort of look for things that are giving us clues on where to start. All right, so from a static point of view, this is an excellent tool that you can use, and this particular app will give you a summary of what it's telling you in terms of degrees, centimeters of like things tilting or the angles of, and then it can really tell you, okay, things that you may not see from a normal picture because it doesn't have a grid on it, you'll be able to now find this out. All right, so very, very important before you start moving forward that you know where to start, and a postural assessment is at the first step. This has been one of them, and I'm going to show you in a second our manual one where it's sort of a bit of a more of a dynamic assessment. All right, so I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so here we are with our dynamic postural assessment. It's sort of a static one, but you'll see it's a little bit more moving on the second part of this, so there's two parts. This first part, all I'm looking for is basically Nathan just to stand still against the wall. The walls, as we would know, would be very perfect 90-degree angle, all right? So we can start to see like any abnormal curvatures that will again give us clues on where to begin. Quite often with the piriformis, we'll see a very tilted forward pelvis with very, very tight hips, sort of exacerbating problems. So to sort of see what we're looking for, when I pop my hand, if I can get my whole arm between his back and the wall, that's sort of an abnormal amount of curvature. I should only be able to get my wrist in there and it gets stuck. In the case of Nathan, I could probably pass my arm right through to the other side. All right, so again, if I can't get any of my hand in there, it's not enough curve. So too much is and not enough are equally as bad. All right, so that's what we're looking for with this. Okay, so part two of the postural test is when we want to look at the thoracic function of his spine. So when his hands move up above his head, we want to see Nathan can keep his back on the wall. All right, so we quite often find, and this is one part that's really missed by most people because the pain's down in the butt. They don't look anywhere else, they're just looking where the pain is, but we'll find that this is extremely common. About 100% of the cases, there's a problem in the thoracic spine. All right, so Nathan's going to demonstrate the test here. So as he moves his arms up above his head, we shouldn't see any part of his back lifting off the wall. So if I can get my hand in anywhere, I know that there's a dysfunction in his spine. Quite often where we will see people will have their hands will only get to there before they have to extend their lower back to get any higher, as Nathan's just demonstrated there. That's what we would usually see, all right, which then creates problems down low from the dysfunction up high.